guys, and we are going to talk about a bunch of different topics real quick. First off, starting in Cincinnati, guys, things are getting a little sour in that locker room, all right? Because at the end of the game, after they lost to the Bears, Chase Brown said, look, because mind you, the Bengals scored. They was up with like seconds left on the clock. Not even that long, not that much time on the clock. And then the Bears end up scoring and having the game-winning touchdown. All right, so Chase Brown said, we've got to play complementary football. Put the ball in the end zone and go up a point at the end and finish the effing game. Like that. Just end it. That's it. That's what we need to do. Just end the effing game, is what Chase Brown said. All right. That is clearly shots at the defense. Then Jamar Chase said, I'm going to stay in my lane. I don't want no defensive players coming chewing me out about what the F I'm doing. So if you snitched on yourself and you're saying that you want to chew them out, but you're not going to do it because you don't want them to chew you out. All right. So basically, things are sour between the offensive players and the defense. Rell, what's your reaction to this? Well, I'm sorry. Actually, let me say this. Should Jamar Chase and Chase Brown have made those comments?
Um, Not at all. They shouldn't. But them making those comments, that sounds like a 3-6 locker room. Like that sounds like comments that would come from a 3-6 locker room. And Chase Brown, what has he done all season to come out and say all that? These players got to understand that do not let the media get in your business. Like, the media will break you up faster than anything. The internet will break you up faster than anything. Don't these players understand about that? And I just think this is a downhill terminal for Cincinnati. This is just a bad move. And then for Jamar Chase a couple of weeks ago, whenever they got the win, he was saying, these players around me without Joe, they look at me to be a leader. They look at me for questions. They come to me and ask me stuff. But now you're saying, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. I don't know that. So when it comes to a leader and you're losing, like, now you don't want to say anything. When everybody's winning, that's when everybody's happy. But whenever you lose, that's when it shows your true character. And Chase Brown and Jamar Chase, they're obviously pissed off, but I just feel like they should have kept it at. We just gotta play complementary football. That's all it should have been.
Facts. Jerrick, should Jamar Chase and Chase Brown have made these comments?
They shouldn't have made the comments, no, but it has to be said at some point. It has to be talked about at some point. We can't just go and be like, oh, okay, well, next week we're gonna come out and get better at practice and then try to go win. No, like, at some point, like, there has to be a conversation had. The way they went about it, I wouldn't agree with that. This is something where they should call a players only meeting or a meeting and just then discuss their frustrations. But going through the media about it isn't the right way to go about it, and especially a guy like Chase Brown. We talked about Chase Brown the first 4 weeks. I think he had like almost more rushing attempts than he had rushing yards. Like, the first 4 weeks, I don't even think he got over 40 rushing yards. So, and then this game, you had 11 carries for 37 rushing yards. Like, you're not the guy that can make those type of comments. Jamar Chase can make those type of comments because we can't talk about his game. We can't say anything negative about his game. He does what he's supposed to do every single week, no matter who his quarterback is. He's balling with 3 different quarterbacks. Like, he's really, like, this is a guy that can say that, although it shouldn't be said in that manner. That's a guy that can say that and back it up. But Chase Brown, no, that's not you. Stay in your lane, buddy, because the defense can say the same thing about you. But it was like something has to be said in that locker room, because the fact that just the way for him to come back the way they did and then still lose the game is bad. Like, they should have lost that game in general, and then they got back in the game, took the lead, and then for the defense to just give it all away like that at the end, that's just bad. Clearly, frustrations are past the point of holding in what they have to say. So it wasn't right, but something does need to be said in that locker
room. My question to Jamar and Chase Brown is, are you shocked? Because I'm not. We all knew going into me, Rell, and Jerrick knew. And mind you, we're just 3 dudes doing a little podcast, whatever. We knew that defense was terrible. Like, the defense is bad. The defense is god-awful. So what happened on Sunday, I'm not shocked. So why is Chase Brown and Jamar Chase shocked? What are y'all frustrated? Jamar Chase, why are you frustrated? You got your bag. They paid you, and the big reason why they can't upgrade the defense because they paid you. Big reason why they can't upgrade defense because they paid T. Higgins, right? That's the big reason why they can't upgrade the defense. And Jamar, you got what you wanted, right? You wanted T. Higgins. You came out, I think Jamar Chase. It wasn't just Joe Burrow. I want to say Jamar Chase came out and said he wanted T to be here too, I think. So you got what you wanted. You wanted the offense to stay together, and this is what happens to the defense. The defense is bad. I mean, I don't know what else. The defense is allowing 33 points per game. They're giving up 33 points per game. Mind you, the Bengals have averaged 33 points over the past 4 games, I want to say, and they're 1-3 in that stretch. The defense can't get a stop. So why are y'all shocked? Now, should they have said that? No. I don't think they should have said it because that just makes things a little worse. That's all. And to me, like I told y'all a couple weeks ago, this year in media, players do not care. They gonna say whatever they thinking. They don't care about the repercussions. They don't care about what happens after that. We've seen it with AJ Brown. We've seen it with another player. Say I think Lane Johnson said something. Who else?
Cam Ward said something.
Cam Ward, Tua, like they coming out, they just saying what they want to say. So I'm not shocked it happened. Should it have happened? No, but they should not be shocked that it is happening. And real quick, we talk about the Bengals real quick. I have just a quick question for y'all and a quick answer. Do y'all think that Joe Flacco's success in this offense puts a little stain on Joe Burrow? Like let's be real. Like when Joe Burrow got hurt and when it was Jake Browning, the offense just went to shambles, right? So we was saying how great Joe Burrow is because of how bad the offense looked. Since Joe Flacco been in, the offense has been looking pretty well. It's been looking pretty good. So do you think that Joe Flacco's success in this Bengals offense puts a little stain on Joe Burrow? Real, what you think?
No, I don't think so at all. And I think Joe Burrow is an MVP type player. Like he took that team to the Super Bowl. I don't think we should overlook that at all. And I think the old Joe Flacco will show. Like Joe Flacco has a tendency, being older, he has a tendency to turn the ball over. We've seen him do that 2 times last week. I think we'll continue to see that even more. And I think that question that you just said won't even be a question in a couple of weeks.
All right, Jerrick.
Not at all. It doesn't put a stain on it just because their ceiling changes whenever Joe Burrow's on the field. Like Burrow said, when Joe Burrow's on the field, we've seen them go to a Super Bowl. We've seen them go to the AFC Championship game. Like we've seen them in the playoffs with winning records when Joe Burrow plays. But now it's like it's just because that offense is set up. Really, the only thing that like we can talk about a QB in that offense is when they play bad, because that offense is designed for you to. You have Jamar Chase, you have T. Higgins. Like you're supposed to be able to succeed, but it doesn't put a blemish on Joe Burrow at all. Just because we know he's next level talent. He can take that team. He raises their ceiling by a lot. And Joe Flacco is just he's a good placeholder. Like he's gonna keep this team where they are. Like they won't be too high and they won't be too low. They're just gonna be right there in the middle. But Joe Burrow elevates this whole team in general.
It is to me like I'm picking on Joe a little bit. Of course, I don't think Joe Flacco is nearly as good as Joe Burrow is, but when I watch this Bengals team, it looks like it did last year. Last year, Joe Burrow was fully healthy. They was losing shootouts. They was losing just like this. The offense was doing their job. The defense couldn't do their job. So if it looks the same, then I'm just, just a little question of mine, how my mind works. Hey, what is the true value of Joe Burrow? If it looks the same with Joe Flacco. Now, it's the same thing in San Francisco, right? I don't want to do it, but you can say, hey, Mac Jones looking just as good as Brock Purdy in that offense, right? So what's the true value of Brock Purdy? And Brock Purdy took that team to the Super Bowl as well. Brock Purdy took that team to the NFC Championship as well. And I'm hearing that conversation. So if I'm hearing that conversation, hey, why can't we hear the conversation with Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow?
Because that's an MVP candidate. That's not Brock Purdy.
He had the same amount of MVPs as Brock Purdy.
Last year he could have won if his team was better. Just saying.
Oh really? Oh really? All right, but that's cool. Let's move on. So down to Arizona, guys. Jacoby Brissett looked great on Monday against the Cowboys. Now it was the Cowboys, don't get it twisted. But the Cardinals, the 2 games before that, both of their losses came by combined 8 points. So we can argue the Cardinals have looked better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. They were supposed to have a franchise quarterback, one of Jerrick's former quarterbacks. Let me tell y'all something. Jerrick done dropped 2 quarterbacks as of late. Kyler Murray was his guy. He done dropped him. Justin Fields was his guy. He done dropped him. So when Jerrick says, I saw something in college and no, the credibility is gone. Because 2 QBs that you said was going to be like that.
Whoa,
and you have dropped them.
Wait a minute. I have much more success than I have bust. Let's get that
Hey,
straight.
that's two
Let's
right.
get that
That's two
straight.
losses right
Let's
there.
get that straight.
That's two
Let's get
losses
that
right
straight.
there.
I
But
have much more. I have much more booms than bust. Let's put that on the record.
all
Put
right,
that on the
well,
record.
Kyler Murray, should the Cardinals move on from number one? Real, let me know.
Yes, sir. This shouldn't even be a question. This should be a quick question, quick answer. And I think the first day of the off season, the Cardinals should try to trade Kyler Murray for the highest offer they can possibly get for him, and then try to go draft another quarterback. Because I just think that these short quarterbacks in the NFL, they just don't work out. The last time we seen them be really good was Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. And granted, we haven't seen Russell Wilson be good since he had a really good defense and a really good team in Seattle. So I also just want to bring you guys all the way back to before COVID times when Arizona got DeAndre Hopkins, and they were supposed to be a really, really good team.
Yep.
They had a high-powered offense, Christian Kirk, Rondell Moore. They had just a really, really good offense, and Kyler Murray held that team back. Kyler Murray had a really good second season, sophomore season, and then after that, uh, the Cardinals were like, "Hey, he's an elite quarterback. We need to pay him," and that wasn't the case. DeAndre Hopkins' career went down after he left Houston. He was
Mhm.
every quarterback DeAndre Hopkins ever played with. He never complained. He never said anything to. Whenever he got to Arizona, he had problems with Kyler Murray. He just wasn't able to reach his full potential in Arizona. Moving on to Marvin Harrison Jr., a generational talent, an absolute stud. Went fourth overall. Was just supposed to be a monster. Hasn't been able to get on the same page as Kyler Murray, and I think it's because of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is 5'9". I don't think he can see over the line. So I just don't think he's an NFL quarterback anymore. I just think the way that the game has evolved, I just think that yes, it's definitely time to move on from Kyler Murray. Like this offense has looked 30 times better with Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball. Marvin Harrison looks like the fourth overall receiver that they drafted him to be.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Jerrick, your former guy, is it time for Arizona to move on from Kyler Murray?
Yeah, and I think we've been came to this conclusion even before he got hurt, before Jacoby Brissett started playing good. Like we came to the conclusion that he necessarily might not be a bad QB, but this isn't the situation for him. It's just like for some reason they just can't seem to click together. They can't seem to just have a good Kyler Murray and the team be good. It's like Kyler Murray will play good, the team be bad, or he'll play bad, the team will be good. Like it's just they can never click and they don't mesh. I don't think that's the organization for him. He probably needs to find somewhere else, and I think that they will move on from him and just think because also Kyler Murray is not getting any younger. He's not that young. He's still young. He still has a lot of more football ahead of him, but he's not that young. So I do think that with the pieces that you have with Marvin Harrison Jr., it's time for you to go get another quarterback and try to find your guy. But yeah, even before Jacoby Brissett did what he did and has shown us what he's shown us about this offense and what it can be with a true pocket presence quarterback, I still came to the conclusion that Kyler Murray, they were going to part ways with him in the offseason. And I think this just reiterated what I already saw.
All right, so in Jacoby Brissett's 3 games, right? 3 games he started from start to finish. 860 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 INT in the past 3 games. All right. Kyler Murray this year, however many games it has been, I didn't take down the number of games, but Kyler Murray this year, 962 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Why did Jacoby Brissett have less than 100 less passing yards, the same amount of passing touchdowns, and 2 less interceptions in 3 games than what you have for the rest of the year? That tells me all I need to know. That means the offense is working with Jacoby Brissett. In my mindset, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm saying, look, if the offense can work with Jacoby Brissett, I know I can go find a quarterback better than Jacoby. Let's be real. Jacoby Brissett is not crazy good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a solid, he's a good backup, right? I can find a starter that can come in and do a little better than what Jacoby's doing. So I have to get rid of Kyler. This is a Kyler problem, clearly, because when Kyler was in the offense wasn't looking as good as it looks right now. So yeah, it is time to move on to Kyler Murray. Now I don't know who's gonna be in the buying market for Kyler Murray. Like I really can't think of a team right now that's gonna want Kyler. Now that I really think about it. But if I can get rid of him, I'm gonna try to get rid of him. What's the point of keeping him? I'm definitely not starting him no more. and there's no reason for him to be on my bench. So to me, Marvin Harrison Jr., that was the first game where I looked at Marvin and said, okay, that's the generational talent everyone was talking about. That's the Maserati Marv from college. That's who that is. 7 catches, 10 targets with like 96 yards, I think, and a touchdown. That's a good game. That's a really good game. Like, he looked like that guy. His best game with Kyler Murray this year was the game against the Titans. Mind you, he had 4 catches, 98 yards, and no touchdowns. But that big catch where he caught over 3 people accounted for 43 of those yards. I'm not giving Kyler Murray credit for throwing that ball to Marvin, who caught that ball with 3 people, right? So his best game of the year came with Jacoby. That's showing me that you can't get the ball to a guy we drafted at number 4. You got to go. So I think the Cardinals should definitely move on from Kyler Murray. All right, but last but not least, Rell, sorry about your guy. Jayden Daniels. It's okay, it's his left elbow. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I don't think they put him on IR yet. I don't think they did. Right, so there's maybe some optimism he might come back. To me, there's no point. I would shut it down for the rest of the season because the defense is just that atrocious, right? But Jay Nailey's hurt. I want y'all reaction to this, and really I want y'all reaction to the injury and to the whole fiasco about having him in the game that late, being down that much. Like, just react to the whole situation. Rell, what you thinking?
Yeah, really just heartbroken because everybody on the podcast, everybody in this chat right now, you guys know Jayden Daniels is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I love his game, but yeah, just terrible decision by Dan Quinn. Absolute terrible decision. That game was over. Like, you guys had no chance of winning unless you, Dan Campbell, were betting and had something to do with like the spread and all that. Why was your superstar quarterback in the game at the end of the fourth quarter? Like, that didn't make any sense. Like, that made zero sense. And now, like, your season is definitely over because he's definitely going to be out multiple weeks. So you're sitting at 3-6. You got to just shut the whole thing down. Just shut it down because you guys just had so many injuries up and down throughout the whole roster. You guys just lost Marshawn Lattimore also on Sunday. I mean, on Monday. So, like, you guys are just beat up everywhere. And Jalen said it all year. Like, the Commanders, without Jayden Daniels, you guys don't have anything. So you guys being down that much, you should have just said, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you, Jayden Daniels. We still got next week," and you could have just took it 1 week at a time, just like you did last year. But just terrible, terrible decision, terrible coaching. And I even seen multiple people say Dan Quinn is on the hot seat after that happened. Yes, after going to the NFC Championship, they said that was such a bad move. They said he was on the hot seat.
All right, so Rell is completely against Dan Quinn right now about his decision. Jerrick, what you think?
I think it's just, should he have taken him out of the game? Probably, especially because he does know how fragile his QB is, which is not his fault that the man can't stay healthy, but he just can't. But at the same time, like, this is an injury that could have happened at any point in the game. This is something that could have, like, it was an unfortunate bad landing. Like, I've broken my arm before off of landing like that. Like, that's just something that happens. This isn't necessarily it's just an unfortunate play. But for all the people that are saying, like, for all the people that are trying to bash Dan Quinn's head in, some of these people are the same people who last year said Saquon Barkley should have played in that last game so he could get that rushing record. Like, these are the same people that are saying those things. So you can't get mad when it doesn't benefit you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't be two-faced about the situation. He probably shouldn't have been in the game. Game was over, far from over. But it's one of those injuries that it just happens. Like, it's football. It was gonna happen. Like, it just happened. So I don't think Dan Quinn deserves as much scrutiny as he's getting. Like, he's already blaming himself. Like, if you saw the press conference, he's already like he's still thinking about it to this moment. Like, he's furious at it. Rell is disgusted right now.
Rell, do you want to respond to that?
Man, time out. Nah, I can't. Nah, I don't really feel what you're saying because it was 7 minutes in the game. They were down 38-7. With, like I said, your superstar quarterback. Why are you running read option? 7 minutes left. This guy just came back from an injury. Yes, man. What? Yes, we are going to bash this man's head in. A read option? What was that, man?
That's on the OC. That's not on Dan.
Man, That's
an OC.
an injury. That's an injury. I'm okay with happening in first, second, third quarter. Fourth quarter with the game, like I said, unless Dan Quinn was gambling and had something to do with the spread, why was Jayden Daniels in the game? Like we need to check. We need to check Dan Quinn. That was just a terrible move. Terrible, terrible, terrible decision. Yeah, yes, we're gonna bash his head in until next season. But
Okay,
this
so
dude just came back from injury. Why is he in the game 38-7? Y'all couldn't get nothing going the whole game. Y'all gonna get something going in the fourth quarter, 7 minutes left. All right, bro.
Hey, maybe it's about maybe he was just trying to look forward to next week. Let's get something going, looking forward to next week. Build momentum going into next week. I've seen coaches say that before. Let's
Now
get
they gotta
something
look
going.
forward
Let's
to the
get
draft.
something positive going and looking at next week.
Now they got to look forward to the draft.
They were looking forward to the draft regardless. This team buns. Let's be quite honest. This team is terrible. I'm sorry. Jayden Daniels, he's not that great of a player to make this team a playoff caliber team. He's not.
wait a minute. Whoa. Okay. So I was on your side, but what he do last year? The defense.
Why did they lose 38-3? Why did they lose 38-3?
The defense. Wait, time out. The defense was just as bad. The reason why I think that he couldn't get it going in that game is because I'm on Jerrick's side for the most part. Just that last sentence you said, you lost me. He is that good because we saw him take the second worst team to the freaking NFC Championship. But Rell, you was hating on Jerrick. You about to hate on me a lot because Jerrick, I think that they look so bad in that game because Jayden Daniels is not cooking because Jayden Daniels can't stay on the field because Jayden Daniels can't get a rhythm going. All right, this year in 6 games that he played, he got hurt in 3 of them. All right, in 2 of the games he had to leave the game. Right, so this is not even a full 6 games he's played this year. I think Jayden Daniels, if you watched last year, he got better as the season went on. Right, he's one of those quarterbacks that got to get it going, get hot. He can't get hot if he's not on the field. That's how I feel about the situation. So maybe Dan Quinn, to Jerrick's point, was like, "Bro, we got to get you going. You got to get some kind of rhythm going. So I'm gonna keep you in the game." Now, the play call that's on Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, why are you calling a read out? You're down 30 points. Why are we trying to run the ball? If anything, we should just be dropping back, letting Jayden Daniels rip it. Right? That's what should be happening. So I agree with you, Rell. That's a bad play call, but like Jerrick said, let's get Jayden going because he's not on the field. In week 2, knee sprain. Week 7, hamstring. Week 8, elbow. like, bro can't stay healthy. He can't stay on the field. And I hate to say this, but Rell, this might end up being another RG3.
Please don't say that, man. Come on, bro.
But I don't want to say it because, like you said, I like seeing quarterbacks that can do a lot with a little. Right? I like seeing it. And Jayden Daniels has done that. Even this year in a couple games, he's looked good. But you can't, like, the best availability is availability. Sorry, the best ability is availability, right? And the best way you get better with reps. You don't get better watching the game. You get better with reps. And Jayden Daniels can't get better if he keeps getting hurt. So I think the media bashed Dan Quinn. Like you said, Rell, I've seen people saying he should get fired or he should be in the hot seat. But at the end of the day, I think the bigger picture is Jayden is starting to turn into a very fragile player. Like that's what we're starting to see. And I don't want him to go down this road, but hey, the injuries don't get better as you get older. He's very young. Don't get it twisted. He's very young. But if this gonna keep happening, RG3 is what it's starting to look like, unfortunately. So I'm on Jerrick's side. Rell, I agree with you with the play call. That was bad. But I'm on Jerrick's side about the rest because I just think that this is bigger than Dan Quinn. This is about, okay, Jayden Daniels, can you stay on the field at all? I get it. We had you in the game, late in the game, but I think that was to maybe get you going a little bit because the rest of the game you didn't look good, right? So let's get you going, maybe build something going into next week because we need you. Like you just said, this team is nothing without Jayden Daniels, right? We need you to be on your A game if we will ever try to compete or ever try to contend. So I'm going to try to get you going so that next week you can be maybe back to yourself. But it's unfortunate. So like I said, they haven't put him on IR yet, so I don't know when he's coming back. But honestly, Rell, if I'm the Jayden Daniels crew, or if I'm Dan Quinn, or if I'm the GM, I'm gonna shut it down for the rest of the year because the defense is worse than it was last year. To be quite honest with you, like it looks bad. It honestly looks bad. Y'all made Sam Darnold look like a freak. Sam Darnold had like 40 fantasy points in the first half, guys. Sam Darnold looked like Peyton Manning out there. Like that just can't happen. That can't happen. But
The defense is so bad they were running away from Jackson Smith-Jigba. They're running away from him.
It's bad. It is so bad. So I'm waiting. So I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm eager to see what happens this offseason when it comes to making the defense better. Because that's the priority for sure when it comes to the Commanders. And you might lose Cliff Kingsbury. Maybe. I think he could be a head coaching candidate going into next year. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, that was definitely a bad play call. But I think Dan Quinn should have kept him in for that. If he came out and said it, then I think y'all would have changed your mind. If he said, man, look, Jayden hasn't been playing a lot. We got to get him going. That's why I kept him in the game. Maybe y'all would have changed y'all mind a little bit on how y'all view Dan Quinn now. But
Yo,
I'm
they
I'm
feeling like it's seven. Leave a comment down below. Yo.